Oh, you got a great VHS collection going on behind you.
Hey, friend.
Hey guys, yeah, I want to start by saying, while I have VHS behind me, I have DVDs to my left and right. And I have movies like Half Nelson, Mississippi Grind. It's kind of a funny story. And speaking of those films, I want to start by saying, I when I was in high school, I worked at a local video store, and Half Nelson was always one of my go-to recommendations of
Oh,
of
wow.
that time. Nobody was ever disappointed. So I just
Oh,
kind of want
wow. All right.
and speaking of this, that film, Mississippi Grind, and it's kind of a funny story are films that I know and love. So would you say that Freaky Tales is kind of a return to that scrappy, inventive, storytelling that kind of defined those earlier films?
I would be worried if somebody went into Freaky Tales thinking that they were going to get a Half Nelson or a Mississippi Grind, which I think are like, really like slow build, character driven, movies. So if like, and this is not that, this is like, an explosive, high octane, like cheeky kind of fun popcorn, movie that does not spend a lot of time thinking very deep exploration on like character, character motivation and things like that. But, I appreciate if you feel that there's like some kind of connection to it. I think that like it certainly comes out of like the same love of film that those movies come out of, and like the same love of working with actors and all of that.
Yeah, I guess my connection the connection that I made when watching this film was it just kind of felt more like grassroots. Like having gone from those indie darlings to working in the Marvel machine, what lessons did you learn or what lessons did you take from Miss Marvel to use moving forward when projects are more freewheeling, creatively unrestrained project, a lot like kind of like Freaky Tales.
Yeah, I mean, this movie Freaky Tales has been brewing in my mind for decades, literally. So it's like, what was this movie going to be was the question, So we had all the ingredients for like this delicious Freaky Tales soup, right? But I think the reason this is being made after Marvel is two reasons. One is because that movie made $1 billion, and I think people could see how this could be commercial. And number two, I think to your point, we learned a little bit more about like working with stunt coordinators, working with visual effects department, and learning those tools and figuring out, oh, that movie Freaky Tales I've been thinking about for decades could really use it'll find itself when we have these action set pieces that sort of bookend the movie. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Going full circle, kind of back to the video store element, Tom Hanks's involvement is such an intriguing surprise. And honestly, it was kind of one of those moments that you're just like, oh shit. Like it was one of my favorite things in the movie. Honestly, I love the dialogue, the back and forth between him and Pedro. How did he come on board and what can you tell us about how, his character, how it came to be, because like I said, I really related to that, but it was kind of cool to kind of see the evolution and where that went, especially in that scene. It was just so much fun.
Think that's the character Ryan relates to most as well. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, so we met Tom because we were working on Masters of the Air, and he produced Masters of the Air with his producing partner, Gary Getzman, and we met both of them on that project. And we were writing this movie, Freaky Tales, and we know Tom's from Oakland, and we had written him as like a cameo role in the final kind of musical sequence in the movie. And so when we gave it to him to read, he saw that we'd written him in his cameo, and we were like, well, would you do a cameo in it? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then we were like, okay. And then when it started to become a reality, and we were like, okay, we're actually like scheduling him to come up to Oakland, we are like, well, maybe we should write something a little bit more juicy if he's actually going to be on set for half a day. And so we really wrote this for Tom, this role of the kind of pretentious, cranky video clerk, and which made it so fun. And just like to see him and Pedro on set together and like playing off of each other, these two actors who are both so incredible and both respect each other so much. It was is such a joy.
Yeah, I just can't imagine. That's really awesome. That must have been such a cool experience. Here at CineDump, we let the doers know how they're doing, and you guys are doing just fine. It's so kind of it's so serendipitous to be talking to you guys. I've been pitching y'all's movies since high school, so it's really cool to see you guys come this far and continuing to make magic. So thank you guys so much for the time.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you
thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, I really appreciate that.